طلاب أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم. Yes, it's me, Idris Kamish, once again, and we're back today with the program Enjoy Arabic Book 1. Yes, students and friends, today we are dealing with lesson 5, and this is essentially a lesson in which we are testing our previous knowledge. So before you attempt this lesson, you should have covered the previous 4 lessons thoroughly. The first exercise that we see here on page 23 is A, read the letters. And as we know, the word read is ikra. So ikra means read. Ikra al-huruf would mean read the letters. Ikra al-khuruf or ikra il-khuruf. Right, now as you know, we read from right to left in Arabic. So let's start, and we're going to do this fairly quickly because this is a testing. After you've done the test, of course, on your own, you can look at this and see if you've read it correctly. Of course, essentially the reading part should be done in front of someone who can read, can guide you. Okay, so we're starting from the first letter, which is this one here, and that is qa. Lu, bu, ma, thi, da, wu. The next row, first one is ba, ye, me, wun, qe, mu, lun, ko. Third row, di, qa, yun, du, l, ta, mun. Row 4, ya, su, dun, ba, lun, wi, nun. Next row, li, ta, ma, qun, ni, wa, qe, tha. Second last row, di, wu, lu, na, ti, d, mi, you. And the last row, da, tun, bi, qa, w, thun, la, wa. طيب. So those are the letters that we have read. So now the next exercise is B, complete the vowelling. Now as we know, the vowels in Arabic are the strokes on top of the letters and below the letters, strokes and curls. So that is, there's the A, it's also known as the fatha. Then we have the I, which is the kasra, and the U, which is known as the dhamma. Right, we often write it with the H at the end. So the first word, remember we do it from the right to the left. First one, book or a book, is kitabun. I'm going to make it a bit thicker. Ki, ta, and un. If you look at the way the un is written, that's normally how it will appear in print. But when we write it, we will do it like this. Un. Kitabun. So bun would be like that. Then the next word, the pen, is al-qalamu. And there's the a, l, qa, la, and mu. Al-qalamu. So the u is the circle on top of the mu. Al-qalamu. The next word is ruler or a ruler, which is mistaratun. And so, miss, ta, ra, tun. And once again, the un, we will write like this, right? So, mistaratun, we will write like that. And then the last word, the boy, al-waladu. So, the a, l, al, there's the a of wa, al-wa, la, and then do, al-walad, do, the boy. Right, that concludes the first page which is page 23 of lesson 5. Let's look at page 24, and as you can see, the first exercise is fill in the missing letters. The word fill in is imla. Imla. So first exercise, as you can see here, wahid, we have a b, a n, and we have a missing letter. But here we can see the full word, and if we look at the picture, we can see it's bint. So the missing letter is the t, bint. Just do that again. The missing letter is the t. Right. So that gives us bint. If we write it out, b, n, t. And as you can see, we first write the whole thing, the whole word, and then we add the dots, and it's bint or bintun, which means a girl, as you can see in the picture there. Right, let's go to the next one, ithnan, and here we have a qa, a missing letter, and a m, and there we have the whole word, and as we can see, it refers to the qalam, which is a pen. So we have the qa and the m, so we're missing the l. And in these blocks, we will use the separated forms of the letters. So let's write it together. Qa, l, qa, la, and m. Qa, lam, or qala, mun. And that is a pen. Good. Let's go to number 3. Thalatha. Here we have a missing letter, l, another missing letter, l, and a d. And if we look at the word and look at the picture, then we can see the word is al-waladu. Al-walad or al-waladu, meaning the boy. So we're missing the a, al, and the wa, right? And if we write it, it would be al-waladu. Al-waladu. Okay, that is number 3, thalatha. Number 4 is arba'a, and here we have a k, and 2 missing letters. So here's the whole word, and of course we can see it's a kalb. Kalb is dog. So we have the k, we're missing the l and the b. So if we write it in full, it's the k, l, and the b. Kalbun, which is a dog. Then we go to the second last one, and that is khamsa, number 5, khamsa. And here we have 2 missing letters. There's the alif, the waw, and the sin. And here we see it's a dictionary, and it's qamusun. So we need the qaf, the alif is there to make it qa, and we need the mim. Right, and let's write it out. That would be qamusun, which is a dictionary. The last one, sitta, number 6. We again have 2 missing letters. We have the first one, which is a k, and again a long a. So we can see that is of course kitab. So I have the ki or the k. There's the t and the b. So together it gives us the word kitab. Kitabun. Okay, so that concludes page 24. Let's move on to page 25. And here it says sil, which is of course link. And the idea is to link the English word with the correct Arabic word. Now one is wahid. So we can simply draw a fairly straight line to link that. It's perhaps a good idea to use different colors. Second one is cat, and that is kid. So we can link that. Then we have duster or dust cloth, and in Arabic that is mimsaha. Then we have read, and of course that is ikra. And then finally we have the word Allah, and there is the word Allah, so we can link that. Right, so that is simply linking the English word with the Arabic. You can add some more color to it with your crayons if you like, but that would suffice. Let's go on to the next set, and the first word here is look. Look is undur, undur. So there we can link that. Look. Then we have ya. Ya is huna. So huna, ya. Then we have where, and what is where? Aina. Aina, so that is that. Then we have pen, and that is of course qalam or qalamun. So that goes up there. And then finally we have broom, broom, which is miknasatun. Miknasatun. So that is how you link it. And then the last set, you can obviously start with any word that you know the best. So let's start with and that would be wa. So we link it, right? And is wa. Then maybe we'll go to there. We'll go there now, and there's hunaka. So that will go there. Then you might know right, and that is uktub, uktub. There's two left, and the one is two. And of course 2 is ithnan, and number 2 would be ithnan. And finally there's he, which is huwa, huwa. Right, so that concludes that. So let's move on to the next page. Right, we're on page 26, and the first exercise is simply to compare the letters. So the first letter is the m or the mim. And if it's at the beginning of a word, that would be the shape. In the middle, at the end, and if it's separate, of course, then it looks again like the initial form. And if we should link the three together, it would look like that, although you will probably never see it like that unless it's some sound effect. Right, so that's the or the mim. Remember, most letters in Arabic have 3 different positions within a word, and the fourth one, which is the separated form, which can also appear in words depending on whether the letter before it cannot be connected. So this is the qa, and that's the initial, like in the word qalam, then we will start like that, qa, lam, right? In the middle, it's like that, qa, at the end, and if it's separated, once again, it looks like the form that we showed there. And if you should write all 3 together, it will look like that, which, as I said, you will probably never see in words like that. Normally, the most you will see a particular letter repeated would be twice in Arabic, never 3 or more times, unless it's just the sound effect that they're trying to show. Right, next one is the next letter is the d. So if it's at the beginning, it would be the same as the separated form, because this is one of the letters that cannot be connected to the next letter. So if you say dar, for example, then it would be d, and the a would be separate, dar, right? If it's in the middle or at the end, it would look like that. You can see the 2 look exactly the same. So there's essentially only 2 forms with a d, and the same with the w that we'll look at now. So the final or separated form is again like the form we showed there initially. If you want to write the 3 together, it will all be separate, because the d cannot be connected to the next letter unless a different letter precedes it, like in walad. So that would be walad would be a waw, which can also not be connected, but the l can be connected to the d. So there it will have the form that we see there, walad, waladun. Right, I hope you understand. Then we have the l, and the l has 3 basic forms within a letter, and the separated form that, as I said, can also appear in words. 3 shapes within a word, and the final shape or the separated shape. So that's that. So at the beginning it's L, like in the name there you can see here, Lamis, starts with L, Lamis, Lamis. Right, so that's the at the beginning. In the middle, looks like that. At the end, looks like that. And here you can see if the letter L is separated, or at the end, there's a part that is below the line. I hope you can see that. So there's a line running through there, and in those two forms we have a portion below the line, but the connected forms have nothing below the line, right, like we see there. And if you should have three L's, which is actually more possible than any of the others, and then it will look like that, right? And then of course the last letter is the W, and that's the initial form, which looks exactly like the separated form, because like the D, number 3 there, these are letters that only have two forms, a connected form, which is, as you can see there, in the middle or at the end of a word. So that's the one form, and the separated form. So once again, if you should want to write three words together, then they would in any case be disconnected, like the dis and the was. Same with if you want to write three alifs in a row, cannot be connected, can only be connected by something other than these letters themselves. So these three here, and there's a few more, can only be connected to any of the other letters. Like in the word qamus, there you can see the alif there is connected to the qaf, right? But if you start a word, for example, al-walad, then the alif cannot be connected to the lam, right? So al-walad would be written like that. The waw can also not be connected to the next. So in the word al-walad, we in fact have three letters that cannot connect to the next word. So if you should have the word al-waladan, al-waladan, or al-waladani, then you will see that the alif, of course, cannot be connected, the waw cannot be connected to the next one, and the d can also not be connected to the next one. And again, there's the alif, which cannot be connected to the next letter, but they can be connected to preceding letters if it's not one of these, right? So once again, you have the alif there, just enlarge it, the alif that cannot be connected to the next letter, the waw cannot be connected to the next letter, and the dal, and again the alif, right? And therefore you see the word is written like that, al-waladan. We write it again, al-wa. The waw can be connected to the preceding letter, but not to the letter that follows. So the l is separate, and the d. So again, the l can be connected to any letter, but the d can only be connected to the preceding letter, but not to the next letter, which in this case it's alif, which also cannot be connected to the following letter, but it could have been connected to the preceding letter if there was a letter that can connect. But since here it's a d, and d can also not be connected, so therefore we have al-waladan written like that, waladan or al-waladani. The n can be connected to anything preceding or following, but here it's preceded by an alif, which cannot be connected to the n, and therefore the n also is separated, right? So this is something you need to get used to. Shukran jazilan, wassalam.